So casually keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. And maybe just a better kind of bitter. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Darling, I would die for you. Tell 1,000 lies for you. Love you like the ocean. Love you in slow motion. Anything it takes to make you stay. But I can't rely on you. Doesn't matter what I do. You say you need a time. I think you mean a buyout. 'Cause it's pretty clear you're on your way out. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah. I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, 'cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. this love was overrated. No more infatuated, and I blame it on you, I blame it on you, yeah. This time I hope you get it. In love you shouldn't fake it, no. I'm old enough to take it, so just say it to me, say it to me. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. Gotta find it now. Gotta find it now. Wake me when it's over, and don't wait, just let me know. And when I have grown older, maybe I can let it go. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. A fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. Gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Before it's over.
What's going on, guys? It's J Red Unfiltered, and we are back with another show. Guys. How y'all doing? Hope you guys are having a great day. We are here to talk about Miss Fani, and not just Miss Fani, but Nathan Wade. Because guess what? The judge made a ruling today, and that ruling is crucial. It's crucial. Now, let's look at this. Let's really look at this, because at the end of the day, Fanny is getting away with a lot, and the only person that's really getting screwed out of this whole situation is Nathan Wade, and that's just the truth of the matter. That's the truth of the matter. So, but it's not just because of that. So let's just let's just take a look at basically this situation and this predicament that Nathan Wade has found himself in. But before that, I just want to tell you that for everybody that's tuned in right now, I just want to say I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. You know, you could be anywhere doing anything in the world, but you were here watching my video, and for that, I am grateful. Now, let's first address the comments. B Fry says, told you, but I mean, but you said she was innocent. You said she was innocent, and the judge didn't find her innocent. So, I mean, yeah, we're gonna go through the report. We're gonna go through the reports tonight. You know what I mean? But before that, I want to just really take a look at the situation that we're in. So, let's first look at this.
This video to please chip in just $5 to my father.
So, backstory on this case, for anybody that doesn't know, basically, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade have been charged with B Fry says no evidence. All right, here we go. Like I said, we're gonna get to it. Hey, what's going on, Maria? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great day. Appreciate you guys' comments. All right, let's go ahead and see what they got to say about my guys stepping down because, spoiler alert, that's what happened.
Senior correspondent Jonathan Seri is reporting live from Atlanta on this part of this story.
And B Fry, before I get into this, just so you know, that's not what happened. That's not what happened, B Fry. You said no evidence. That's not what happened. The judge literally said there's an appearance of conflict of interest, so one of you has to step down. That's literally what happened. I'm sorry. They're like, you weren't right. I'm sorry. That's not right. She got to stay in her position. But you know what I mean? There was what she was accused of. It's not, we weren't wrong about what she said, and the judge actually didn't say that she was wrong either. And she still might possibly face ethical violations. So I'm just saying, I mean, a win is a win, I guess. A win is a win, I guess. B Fry says, okay, I won't interrupt your show like last time. No, you good. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Believe it or not, like I said, it makes it interesting. It makes it interesting. I don't mind. I really don't.
And also, what we're going to hear next from Fani Willis, the DA in Atlanta.
Yeah, the decision is not surprising because the judge really gave Fani Willis probably an unpleasant decision, but an easy decision because if Nathan Wade were to stay on this case as special prosecutor, then the DA, Fani Willis, would have been forced to resign from the case along with her entire staff. They would have had to stand on the sidelines. And so in order for this case to best move forward,
maybe I should do it like this. Okay. Actually, what we're going to do first, we're going to go through. Told you. But like I said, you're not interrupting the show, though. I appreciate everybody's comments. And like I said, you could be anywhere doing anything, but you engaging with me. I appreciate you for that. Genuinely. Seriously, B Fry. May not agree with you. You know what I'm saying? But that we can disagree. I mean, it doesn't mean, you know what I mean? I still appreciate your the engagement. Let's actually look. Let's look at and see what the judge has to say for this himself. Because that's the key to it all. The judge makes the final decision. So B Fry. I mean, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is sometimes. I mean, believe it or not, I mean, like sometimes a lot of people in real life don't agree with me. So I mean, it's just part of the game. It just happens. You know what I mean? But like I said, I appreciate your comments just because I just don't agree. But in this case, I don't think the judge did either. The judge even said a lot of things that she was doing was improper. So that's all I'm saying. That's all. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into what the judge says. And B Fry says it was so easy to see. Well, let's see what the judge says. Like I said, let's see. The judge says, On January 8th, 2024, defendant Roman filed a motion to dismiss the indictment and disqualify the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. 8 co-defendants later joined and supplemented the motion, raising additional grounds for disqualification. Among other allegations of disqualifying conduct, the defendants contend that the district attorney obtained a personal stake in the prosecution of this case by financially benefiting from her romantic relationship with Special Assistant District Attorney Nathan Wade, whom she personally hired to lead the state's prosecuting team. More specifically, defendant Roman alleges that the district attorney and Special Assistant District Attorney Nathan Wade traveled together on multiple vacations, with Wade covering many of the associated expenses. Defendant Roman later supplemented his motion with receipts from some of these travels. The state responded with an affidavit arguing the district attorney had not received any financial benefit through her relationship with Wade and that their personal expenses were roughly divided equally. As alleged, the claims presented a possible financial conflict of interest for the district attorney. More importantly, the defense motions and the state's response created a conflict in the evidence that could only be resolved through an evidentiary hearing, and one that could not simply be ignored without endangering a criminally accused constitutional right to procedural due process. After receiving 2.5 days of testimony, during which the defendants were provided an opportunity to subpoena and introduce whatever relevant and material evidence they could muster, the court finds that the defendants failed to meet their burden of proving that the district attorney acquired an actual conflict of interest in this case through her personal relationship and recurring travels with her lead prosecutor. The other alleged grounds for disqualification, including forensic misconduct, are also denied. However, the established record now highlights a significant appearance of impropriety that infects the current structure of the prosecution team, an appearance that must be removed through the state's selection of one of two options. The defendant's motions are therefore granted in part. Now, I'm just going to give my opinion on that first part. Basically, what we're dealing with is the judge is saying that Trump's team and Trump's co-defendants have failed to produce the evidence to meet the necessary burden of proof that would substantiate disqualifying Fani Willis. However, they met the actual burden of proof for conflict of interest, or the actual conflict of interest, right? Because that's been the whole debate the whole time. It's whether it's an appearance of conflict of interest or actual conflict of interest, and whether appearance of a conflict of interest is enough to actually get someone disqualified, specifically a district attorney. Now, basically what this judge just did, he said, you're both going to win and you're both going to lose on some parts. That's basically what he did. And if we're really being honest, it's a bit of a cop-out. Let's just be real. It's a bit of a cop-out. But, you know, we're going to keep getting into it, right? So, on the actual conflict of interest, he says, our highest court consistently remind us that prosecutors are held to a unique and exacting professional standard in light of their public responsibility and their power. Every newly minted prosecutor should be instilled with the notion that she seeks justice over conviction and that she may strike hard blows but never foul ones. Most importantly, prosecutors are expected to assume a role beyond a mere advocate for one side and must make decisions in the public's interest, not their own personal or political interests. Recognizing these are not empty slogans nor toothless admonishment. I'm sorry, it's too small for me to see that. Without practical effect, Georgia courts have not hesitated to step in and use their inherent authority to disqualify a state prosecutor when required, especially when that prosecutor labors under an actual conflict of interest. Let's see. Basically, he's giving case law. Each court to protect every court has a power. Basically, like I said, case law. Disqualification of a prosecutor due to a conflict of interest is thus not a creature of statute so much as it is a judicial remedy recognized by our appellate court since their formation, generally on grounds of public policy, as the administration of the law should be free from all temptation and suspicion so far as human agency is recognized. Agency is capable of accomplishing the object. Let's see. More case law. Basically, this judge is just justifying his or setting the groundworks for his decision. It's not just as simple as just saying, "Oh well, guilty," or "I'm going for this." No, you have to actually set the groundwork, and I feel like, I mean, I get what he's saying, but it makes sense. The Georgia Supreme Court has most recently denoted conflict of interest and forensic misconduct as the two generally recognized grounds for disqualification. More case law. A conflict of interest includes acquiring a personal interest or stake in the defendant's conviction. Ooh. More case law. Basically, a case law defining a conflict of interest. Defining conflict of interest as a real or seemingly incompatibility between one's private interest and one's public or basically public duties. In such circumstances, no showing of prejudice by a defendant is required. This is so because the prosecutor's duty to the public creates an additional public interest that must remain unconflicted in every criminal case. A determination of whether a prosecutor is laboring under a conflict of interest is a fact-driven one. Basically, more case law. In this case, Wade's manner of payment is not actionable on its own. Whenever a private attorney like Wade is paid by the billable hour, a motive exists to extend or prolong the assignment. This, however, is a tension that the legal profession has long accepted. It is also the type of speculative status violation that our courts have regularly denied as insufficient grounds for disqualification absent solid proof of some other conduct. Thus, Wade's oath of office in combination with the supervision theoretically provided by a neutral and detached district attorney should generally be sufficient to dispel the appearance of that improper incentive, nor would a romantic relationship between prosecutors standing alone typically implicate disqualification, assuming neither prosecutor had the ability to pay the other as long as the relationship persisted. But in combination, as is alleged here by the defendants, a prima facie or facie, I don't want to mispronounce that, argument arises of financial enrichment and improper motivations, which inevitably and unsurprisingly invites a motion such as this. Wow. Judge is getting deep. So let's get into it. As to the financial allegations, the court makes the following factual findings. On November 1st, 2021, this is basically what the court is accepted as facts, okay? On November 1st, 2021, the district attorney hired Nathan Wade to serve as the special assistant district attorney and lead the investigation that produced the indictment in this case. The district attorney considered at least one other option before hiring Wade, extended an offer to former Governor Ray Barnes, who declined. The contract allowed a $250 hourly rate, a relatively low amount by Metro Atlanta standards for an attorney with Wade's years of service, and contained a ceiling on the maximum number of hours permitted. Under the terms of the first contract, Wade was not to perform more than 60 hours of work per month without written permission. Whew. That's why he was talking about crying on the stand. He was like, he got sad every time he looked at his bill or his hours. No evidence introduced indicates that Wade ever received permission to exceed these monthly hourly caps. His contract was renewed on November 15th, and again on June 12th. Between October 22nd and May 2023, the district attorney and Wade traveled together on 4 occasions that resulted in documentable expenses. The first included an extended trip in October 2022 to Miami and Aruba and a cruise. Wade initially covered the expenses for the October 22 trip, totaling approximately $5,000. And in December 22, the two flew to Miami for another cruise for which the district attorney paid basically $1,400 for plane tickets, while Wade purchased passage for the cruise along with other vacation-related expenses totaling approximately almost $4,000, basically. Whew, Jesus Christ. In March 2023, the two traveled to Belize, where Wade covered resort and restaurant expenses in the amount of approximately $3,000. May 23, Napa Valley. Wade covered airfare, lodging, and Uber in the amount of basically $3,000. And in addition, the two described taking a number of day-long trips to Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, and other parts of Georgia. They also admitted to dining out on multiple occasions and taking turns covering the bill. With seemingly full access to Wade's primary credit card statements, the defendants did not produce evidence of any further documentable expenses or gifts, nor were any revealed through the testimony. In total, defendants point to an aggregate document benefit of at most approximately $12,000 to $15,000 in the district attorney's favor. Whew. The district attorney in Wade testified that these expenditures were not meant as gifts and not designed to benefit the district attorney. Both testified the district attorney regularly reimbursed Wade in cash, and if not reimbursed, the district attorney covered a comparable related expense. For example, the district attorney testified that she reimbursed Wade in cash for the Aruba trip, which she estimated cost around $2,000, and that she gave him money for both cruises. She further claimed, Jesus Christ, she further claimed that I don't believe her. I don't believe her. I don't believe her. That's her testimony. I don't believe that she gave him that money back. That's a lie. They were dates. I don't believe that women on the regular are giving back date money like that. I just don't. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Not saying it doesn't happen, but you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Just like, guys, just what are y'all thinking so far? Do y'all think this judge is full of it, or do you think that he's being fair? Let me know in the let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Do you think he's being fair, or do you think, you know, or yeah, let's see. Let me know what you guys think. Was the judge fair? Let me know something. And just to check on these comments real quick. B Fry says, I'm an independent thinker. No, I respect that. I definitely respect that. Like I said, as long as you can like stand on it and substantiate your arguments, I'm all for it. Which you appear to be able to do so, you know. B Fry says he appeared to be fair. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, for the most part, I definitely think that his calling was a cop out, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Good coffee. Whew. Let me see. For example, I agree, Maria. I agree, Maria. I definitely think he took the easy way out. B Fry says, like he said, like he said, there was no evidence. But you know, we're gonna get into it because you'll see why we're saying he took the easy way out, because there was evidence. He clearly said in his statement that, you know what I mean? He did say in his statement that there is appearance of a conflict of interest. And so, I mean, he's going to get into that later, but I mean, yeah. B Fry says, basically agrees with Maria that the judge took the easy way out, and it is easier to be neutral. Yeah. Picking a side is hard. You know. It's actually crazy. One of the 48 laws of power is actually that you're not supposed to pick a side. You're not supposed to just pick one side or the other. So I mean, I guess he's doing what he got to do. Let's get back into this though. For example, the district attorney testified that she reimbursed Wade for $2,000 in cash for the Aruba trip, which is $2,000 that she gave him, and that she gave him money for both cruises. She further claimed that she reimbursed Wade for the entirety of the Belize trip, and that she paid for the Napa Valley excursions. Finally, while Wade could have brought meals in 2020, which totaled more than $100, she would also regularly pay for his meals. Okay. Such a reimbursement practice may be unusual, and the lack of any documentary corroboration understandably, understandably concerning. Yet the testimony withstood direct contradictions, was was corroborated by other evidence. For example, her payment of airfare for two 2022 Miami trip, and was not so incredible as to be inherently unbelievable. However, as the district attorney herself acknowledged, no ledger exists other than a best guesstimate. There is no way to be certain that expenses were split completely evenly, and the district attorney may well have received a net benefit of several $100s. Despite this, after considering all the surrounding circumstances, the court finds that the evidence did not establish the district attorney's receipt of a material financial benefit as a result of her decision to hire and engage in a romantic relationship with Nathan Wade. Simply put, the defendants have not presented sufficient evidence indicating that the expenses were not roughly divided equally, or that the district attorney was or currently remains greatly peculiarly interested in this in this prosecution. Hold on. B. Fry says the judge mentioned that there was an order on mendacity, hence smells funny. Odor on mendacity. Hold on. I gotta look that word up. You stumped me, buddy. You stumped me, buddy. What is mendacity? Oh, I mean, basically, yeah, basically that they were lying. um, yeah, good. You just taught me something, B. Fry. Nice work. Let's see. Other than guesstimate, there are several. Despite this, after engaging in a romantic relationship with Wade, simply put, oh man, yeah, appreciate it, Maria. Thank you, appreciate it. Sorry about that. Appreciate it, B. Fry. Thanks, guys. Let's get back to this. In addition, and much more important, I'm sorry. The defendants have not presented sufficient evidence indicating that the expenses were not roughly divided evenly, and that the district attorney was or currently remains greatly or peculiarly interested in this prosecution. In addition, and much more important, the court finds, based largely on the district attorney's testimony, that the evidence demonstrated that the financial gain flowing from her relationship with Wade was not a motivating factor on the part of the district attorney to indict or prosecute this case. While a general motive for more income can never be disregarded entirely, the district attorney was not financially destitute throughout this time or in any great need, as she testified that her salary exceeds $200,000 per year without any indication of excessive expenses or debts. Here's a lot of money. It's a lot of money per year. Let's just be honest. But is that a lot of money in Atlanta dollars, though? Just want to know. Anybody, let me know. Is that a lot of money in Atlanta dollars? Because different cities have different standards of living. So I'm just wondering, because $200,000. I mean, in the Midwest, that's a lot of money. So I'm just saying. Similarly, the court finds that the defendants have failed to demonstrate that the district attorney's conduct has impacted or influenced the case to the defendant's detriment. While prejudice is not a required element for disqualification, it is relevant to consideration of due process and the defendant's requested remedy of complete dismissal. Defendants argue that the financial arrangement created an incentive to prolong the case, but in fact, there is no indication the district attorney is interested in delaying anything. Indeed, the record is quite to the contrary. While before the relationship came to light, the state requested that the trial begin less than 6 months after indictment. Wow, that was on the 16th of August. Yeah, the 16th of August in 2023. Soon thereafter, the state opposed severance of the objecting defendants who did not demand their statutory right to a speedy trial. The state argued that it only wanted to try the case once, assuming that such a trial would have been affirmed after any necessary post-conviction appeals. The state amended its proposed timeline in November 2023 to request that the trial commence less than 1 year after the return of the indictment. So basically, the judge is basically saying that you can't, like, it doesn't make sense that Fani and Nathan Wade are prolonging this case to get more money, basically billable hours. You didn't want the billable hours, right? You know, that's a big point. So what he's saying is you can't argue that Nathan Wade and Fani Willis are trying to prolong this case so that they can get paid more money, when in reality, they've been trying to get this over with as fast as they can. And that's a fair point. I mean, that's a fair point. And even after the indictment, the district attorney approved a grand jury presentment that included fewer defendants than the special purpose grand jury recommended. Basically, they said it was like a whole bunch of people, like 30 something people that they wanted to get in this indictment, but Fani's, she said we're only gonna go after these 11. In sum, the district attorney has not in any way acted in conformance with the theory that she arranged a financial scheme to enrich herself or endear herself to Wade by extending the duration of this prosecution or engaging in excessive litigation. Without sufficient evidence that the district attorney acquired a personal stake in the prosecution or that her financial arrangements had any impact on the case, the defendant's claim of an actual conflict of interest must be denied. This finding is by no means an indication. Now, listen to this, guys. Whoa. This finding, basically what the judge says is, which is fair, there is no actual conflict of interest. But again, the whole point of this case is whether actual conflict of interest is needed to get her disqualified, or whether the appearance of conflict of interest is enough to get her off the case. That's always been the point of contention. So just because they got denied on actual conflict, guys, it doesn't mean that she's getting off scot-free or that she got off scot-free. What it just, like I said, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Stay tuned, guys. And if you stopping through, you could do me a favor and hit the like button. I'd much appreciate it. But even if you don't, thank you for tuning in. Hope you, it's just great. I appreciate you for stopping through. Real talk. Appreciate you for stopping through, because we're really gonna look at this and we're really gonna deep dive into this, because at the end of the day, this Fani situation is really funny, because at the end of the day, only one person is really gonna get screwed here, and it's not the math. Like, this is just crazy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say I was shocked, but I am gonna say that I really was like, it's just so much disappointment you could just take. It's just, I was really hoping the judge would do the right thing. But let's get into it. Without sufficient evidence that the district attorney acquired a personal stake in prosecution or that her financial arrangements had, and appreciate those likes really sincerely. Thank you. Thank you. Because like I always say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get back into reading this, but I just have to always be grateful for people because you could really be doing anything, you could be watching anybody, and the fact that you're here, like I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm grateful to you. So thank you, sincerely. That her had any impact on the case. The defendant's claims of it must be denied. There no means. Okay, but this finding is by no means an indication that the court condones this tremendous lapse in judgment. Or, you hear that? The court is acknowledging. They're acknowledging that what Fani and Nathan Wade did is an ethical violation. So let's just really take a pause. So yes, the judge denied removing Fani from the case because of actual conflict of interest. However, he's pointing out that what they did, it was not the way that things are supposed to be done. It was a lapse in judgment. Why else would he say that? Why else would he say that? If not because he needs to, because let's see, how do you, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I mean, we can debate about this all we want, but it's like in this situation without access to certain things, then guess what? You're not going to be able to prove an actual conflict of interest. But the judge is basically saying that she acted in an unprofessional manner, and this is what we're going to get into right now. They're basically saying, or the lapse in judgment, which is the situation with Nathan Wade, or an unprofessional manner of the district attorney's testimony during the evidentiary hearing. That's basically saying that Fani went up there and acted a freaking fool. That's what he's basically saying. That's what the judge is saying. This is a district attorney. This is the most powerful woman in Georgia. In Georgia. One of the most powerful women in Georgia. And she went up there and she acted a fool. And the judge is calling her out for it. Rather, it is the undersigned's opinion that Georgia law does not permit the finding of an actual conflict for simply making bad choices, even repeatedly. Repeated bad choices. Not just making a bad choice, but making repeated bad choices. And it is the trial court's duty to confine itself to the relevant issues and the applicable law properly brought before it. Basically, what he's saying is, yes, Fani did. Yes, Fani was wrong. Yes, Fani has ethical violations, but it's not relevant to the case at hand. That's basically what he's saying. So, at the end of the day, Fani, they're not excusing what she did. They're not excusing what she did. But what they are doing is basically they're saying that it's not the issue that we have to deal with or the issue that we're supposed to be dealing with right now. That's not what we're here for, is basically what he's saying. Um, Other forms or sources of authority, such as the General Assembly, the Georgia State Ethics Commissions, the State Bar of Georgia, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, or the voters of Fulton County may offer feedback on any unanswered questions that linger. But those are not the issues determinative to the defendant's motion alleging an actual conflict. So basically, the judge was saying that Fani was acting a fool. Completely unprofessional. For all those people that think that Fani didn't make herself look stupid, no, she did. She made herself look absolutely stupid, completely unprofessional. And it's just, you really just hate to see it. You hate to see it. It's the truth. It's the truth. And it's sad. It's sad. Sorry about that. Excuse me. So basically, now let's focus on the real issue, okay? Because this is the real key to everything that happened today. Because like B Fry says that there's no evidence, right? And we went back and forth basically about whether the appearance of impropriety or the appearance of conflict of interest is enough for disqualification, right? So this is the key. That's really the important aspect of the case, because I think it's fair to say that there is no. It's harder to prove an actual conflict of interest in this scenario. I think that we can concede on that, right? But the appearance of a conflict of interest, the appearance of improper use of funds, the appearance of doing wrong, is that enough for disqualification or for removal from the case? And now let's hear what the judge has to say about it. Finding the appearance of impropriety, finding insufficient evidence of an actual conflict of interest does not end the inquiry. Our appellate courts have endorsed mm, uh B Fry, why do you think I'm biased against our culture? I'm not biased against black culture. I'm not biased against black culture. I just call it out for what it is. I'm not biased against it. Um, no, I think Fanny was being ignorant. You know what I mean? I think she was being I think she was just being really unprofessional. I think she was acting a fool. I think she was showing her behind. I think that she was acting classless. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think. I mean, you know what I mean? I get it, but I'm not biased against it. Well, that I don't think that justifies calling me biased against our culture. You know what I mean? And like I don't take it disrespectfully. So it's not nothing like that. I just don't think that I'm biased. I just yeah, I don't see that. I'm pretty self-aware. I don't think that I'm biased against black culture. I think that I call black culture out for what it is, and I think that I highlight the negatives about black culture, and I think people just don't like that. But I don't think that I'm biased against our culture. If I was really biased against our culture, I wouldn't speak up and try to encourage it to be better. It would just be all insults and belittling and no solutions. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? People just don't pay attention to the solution oriented videos. That's just the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? I give solutions. I care about the black community. Um mm, that B. Fry says, I told you, nervous boy schooled the judge. That's yet to be seen. That's yet to be seen because, like I said, the judge basically, spoiler alert, the judge could have removed Fani from this case. Let's just be real. He could have removed Fani from this case. He chose not to. He chose not to. So, like, B. Fry, what you're saying is just not true. It's not true. Yes, conflict of interest is one issue, but the appearance of conflict of interest is enough to get someone removed from a case. Like I said, we're going to get to it. The judge said it. Finding insufficient evidence of an action does not end the inquiry. I have endorsed the application of an appearance of impropriety state prosecutors, even that doesn't make sense, B. Fry. That doesn't make sense. The judge literally is about to say that there's an appearance of impropriety. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Seriously, what are you talking about? The judge literally is about to say, but okay. Our appellate courts have endorsed the application of an appearance of impropriety standard. So nervous boy didn't school him. There is a standard of appearance of impropriety. There is a standard to state prosecutors, even without any explicit findings of an actual conflict. I'll say it again. Our appellate courts have endorsed the application of an appearance of impropriety standard to state prosecutors, even without any explicit findings of an actual conflict. That's not what it said. That's not what he just said, B. Fry. What are you talking about? That's not what he just said. It says that there is a standard of appearance of impropriety. So that's what I mean. The appearance of impropriety means that if it looks like a person could commit a crime, or if it looks like a person may reasonably commit a crime under those circumstances, or may have reasonably committed a crime under circumstances, then it means that qualifies as the appearance of impropriety, the appearance of a conflict of interest. That's like what are we talking about? Let's see. Basically, all these are case laws. Case law. Certainly a conflict of interest or the appearance of impropriety from a close personal relationship with the victim may be grounds for disqualification from the prosecutor. District attorney may not be compensated by means of a fee arrangement that generates at least the appearance of a conflict of interest. At least the appearance of a conflict of interest. Okay, be fried, be nice. Now don't talk about me. I'm country. Let's see. More case law. Prosecutors close personal relationship with the victim in a case may create. And let's see. In that case, the individual prosecutor may be disqualified. Case law. The cases cited here that resulted in disqualification did not hold that an actual conflict is a necessary prerequisite. What the French toast did he just say, B. Fry? What did he say? The cases cited here that resulted in disqualification did not hold that an actual conflict is a necessary prerequisite. The state nevertheless argues that the facts presented suggested as much. And while that may be so, in some instances, the opinions do not make that finding. And this court cannot ignore the explicit language of the Georgia Supreme Court and multiple opinions from the Georgia Court of Appeals. Further, while Davenport is the first instance this court can find where the exact phrase appearance of impropriety is used to assess the disqualification of a state prosecutor, the reference to Caesar's wife in Nichols versus State and the Jesus Christ. It's too small. Sorry, guys. The admonition against all temptation and suspicion demonstrate the principle has long been. Can y'all see that too? I mean, I'm trying to do it so y'all can see it too. That's why it's so small. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, B Fry. I see it now. I told you it was just too small. Jesus Christ. Man, tough room. Appreciate it though. Maria says the defense did prove there was an appearance of impropriety. If not, the judge would have thrown it out completely. Exactly, and that's what I keep saying. I think B Fry is being intentionally disingenuous. I'm not even gonna lie. He's being intentionally disingenuous because if you read this, you know that's not what the judge said. Like, come on. You know that the judge said that there was an actual appearance of conflict of interest, or else the result wouldn't have been what the result was. there was a literal result of what happened. So I'm just saying, like, come on, man, don't be disingenuous. Like, basically what he's saying so far now is basically that in these cases that we've cited, the state recognizes appearance of conflict of interest. That's what they're saying. The top of this page, the top of page 11. The top of labeling, you saying labeling appearance related argument irrelevant due to lack of an actual conflict. Oh, I mean, what do you? I mean, you can't just read it. You can't just read that one line. You got to read it in context. You know what I mean? So hold on. In that case, the individual prosecutor who has conflict may be Davenport versus State, granting new trial after concluding that under such circumstances there is at least the appearance of impropriety. But see Whitworth versus State, physical precedent only, labeling appearance related argument irrelevant due to lack of actual conflict. I don't get how that proves your point. I mean, like I said, I mean, what is that one? Explain how that one line. Explain how that one line just actually, or how that disproves or basically debunks everything that the judge says before and after this. Just let me know. The cases cited here that resulted in disqualification did not hold that an actual conflict is necessary. I didn't see that. It just said that, like I said, he just said that basically they were holding that actual conflict is not a necessary, is not a. I don't. Maybe, maybe I just need some sleep, guys. Am I confused or something? Am I missing something? Yeah, you're right, Maria. But am I missing something? Like, what am I missing? Because what am I missing if the judge just cites all these cases where conflict of interest isn't required or isn't a prerequisite, but man, like I said, maybe I'm confused. um, the state nevertheless argues that the facts presented as much, and while that may be in some instances, the opinions do not make that finding, and that this court cannot ignore the explicit language of the Georgia Supreme Court and multiple opinions from the Georgia Court of Appeals. Furthermore, while Davenport is the first instance this court can find where the exact phrase appearance of impropriety is used, in reference to I'm sorry, I read all this already. That and that God, he threw me off. The admonition against all temptations and suspicion in Galden versus State demonstrate the principle has long been endorsed in Georgia law. While formally undefined in Georgia precedent, an appearance of impropriety is generally considered conduct or status that would lead a reasonable person to think that the actor is behaving or will be inclined to behave inappropriately or wrongfully. Black Laws Dictionary. I don't know how it gets more clear than that. That's what it is. I mean, yeah, that's what it is. The the appearance of impropriety is basically something that would make a normal person think, oh yeah, he would probably do that. So I mean, let's see. Borrowing from federal judicial recusal standards, a reasonable person is not an uninformed member of the public with only a passing knowledge of the facts at hand. This must be the standard, as otherwise, in this case, a casual, uninformed, or misinformed observer might believe the district attorney must recuse herself merely because her father shares a last name with a co-defendant. Nor is a reasonable person hypersensitive or unduly suspicious without an understanding of the relevant legal standards and judicial practice. The appearance standard recognizes that even when no actual conflict exists, a perceived conflict in the reasonable eyes of the public threatens confidence in the legal system itself. It literally threatens. I mean, when this danger goes uncorrected, it undermines the legitimacy and moral force of our already weakest branch of government. He said it, not me, guys. He said it. He said it, not me. Jesus Christ. He said it, not me. That's not what it says, B Fry. It doesn't say it only applies to judges. Where do you see that it said? Where do you see that it says it only applies? Do you know what that says? That says defined and regularly applied to judges. Where do you see that it says only applied to? This is why we say words matter, people. I'm just saying, like, this is why we say words matter. Where does it say that it only applies to judges? Where was that stated? Where is that stated that it only applies to judges? I'm I just want to know, like, just let me know. Where does it say that it only applies to judges? It says here that it's been defined and regularly applied to judges as part of the code of the judicial conduct. It doesn't say that it's only applied to judges. It just says that it's regularly applied to judges. Regularly and only are two different words. They mean two different things. Come on. Okay, B Friday, your show as you want, as you wish. I'm just playing, but let's see. The test for the appearance of impropriety is whether the situation would create a reasonable minds, a perception that the judge's ability to carry out judicial responsibility with integrity and impartiality and and competence is impaired. Notably, this applies to both a judge's professional and personal conduct. See, Georgia Code, see, the neutrality required of a judge is necessarily of a higher degree than the required of a prosecutor. In contrast, only an attorney's professional behavior is subject to scrutiny through a disqualification motion, nor is a private attorney held to the strict nonpartisan standard of a judge. So to say that an appearance standard inappropriately holds prosecutors to the same ethical standards as judges is inaccurate. Although the distinction is less apparent here as a conduct. What the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. What the fuck? Come on, man. That didn't say that. That didn't say. That's not what it said. Come on, man. It didn't say that it only applies to judges. That's not what it said. It said that judges and prosecutors aren't held to the same standard. Words matter, B Fry. B Fry. Words matter. If we don't say, like, if we just make up meanings for words, then words don't have meaning. Where did it say that it only applies to judges? Where did it say appearance only applies to judges? It didn't say that in the fine print. So what are you talking about? Again, I'm just asking, like, am I tripping? Maybe I am. Maybe I am tripping. Maybe like I said, maybe I just need some sleep. Maybe I just need some sleep. But that's not my brain. My brain is not wrapping around what's going on right now. Like, B Fry, that's not what it says. That's not what it says. Jesus Christ. Um, Nor is this reasonable person hypersensitive or unduly suspicious without them. The appearance standard recognizes that even when no actual conflict exists, a perceived conflict in the reasonable eyes of the public threatens confidence in the legal system itself. When this danger goes uncorrected, it undermines the legitimacy and moral force of our already weakest branch of government. Okay. This he quotes A. Hamilton, thus it is that sometimes an attorney, guiltless in any actual sense, nevertheless is required to stand aside for the sake of public confidence in the probity, the administration of justice. Now, let's see, case law. This court finds that it can and indeed must consider this is the key. This is the key. This is the key right here. The court finds that it can and indeed must consider the appearance of impropriety as a basis for a state prosecutor's disqualification, especially in recognition of the critical role that the prosecutor plays in the criminal justice system. One final observation that can be gleaned from a careful study of our appellate decisions applying this standard, the remedy can vary. This is the key. This is the key. What they just said. Our final observation can be gleaned from a careful study of our appellate decisions applying this standard. The remedy can vary. This is why the judge copped out. This is why Maria said that the judge copped out. This is why Maria said the judge split the baby. This is why everybody is looking at the judge funny now, because he took the easy way out. Because what did he say? It can vary. The remedy can vary. What would you need a remedy for if there was no problem, if there was no issue? If there wasn't a violation, why is there a remedy? This is why I said B. Fry is being disingenuous, because just come on. And this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly why I say B. Fry is being disingenuous. Because what does this say? Unlike an actual conflict, the finding of an appearance of impropriety does not automatically demand disqualification. So, B. Fry, are you using that to substantiate your point that there was no conflict of interest, or there was no appearance of conflict of interest? Because that's not what that means. That's not what that means. Listen, actually understand. You got to really understand what these words mean. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said it doesn't automatically demand a conflict of interest. That's not what it says. It doesn't automatically demand disqualification. It did not say that there was no there was no appearance of conflict of interest. It does not say that the appearance of impropriety is not grounds for disqualification. It does not say that. You keep saying, oh, there was no conflict. Yes, we can't prove actual conflict, but that's what you're doing. You're straw manning. That's really what you're doing. Let's just be honest. You're really straw manning the argument and basically trying to focus on actual conflict when we've already conceded that they didn't prove actual conflict. So why are we still talking about actual conflict? No. Appearance of impropriety is what we're talking about. We're talking about the appearance of conflict of interest. That's what we're talking about. And that's what the judge is saying right now. He's saying that it's not automatically grounds for disqualification. He's saying that it means that they have room, wiggle room. It means that's why we're saying the judge got off easy. It means that there's wiggle room. Wiggle room. Do you know that, guess what? Just because you unalive someone, if someone ends up unalived by your hands, there is a spectrum from where they can sentence you. You might get probation depending on where you live. You might do 5 years. You might do 10 years. You might, you know what I'm saying? You literally might you know what I'm saying? You might get the death penalty. You might get 10 years in jail. You might get life in jail. But guess what? There is a range. There's a range. There's a range. But what we can't keep doing is we can't keep talking about whether there was an actual conflict of interest. We can concede that there was no conflict of interest. But what the judge is saying is there was the appearance of conflict of interest. And the appearance of conflict of interest can warrant things ground from somebody stepping down all the way up to disqualification. Disqualification isn't off the table. That's not what he said. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. I'm just saying words matter. What we say matter. That's all I'm saying. Words matter. And what was said is not what was said on the page. That's not what he was saying. But D Fry says, okay, we are saying the same thing. I mean, maybe we are. Maybe we are. Like I said, I just need sleep. Maybe that's just what it is. But yeah, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm living in the twilight zone. But yeah, but like I said, I appreciate your comments. Funny. Keep reading, take a deep breath. Funny. Our Supreme Court has let's get back into this. Let's see. Does not automatically demand disqualification. Our Supreme Court has previously analyzed disqualification under an appearance standard in a civil case using a continuum, recognized that disqualification is not always the appropriate outcome. Not always the appropriate outcome. I'm going to say that again. Not always the appropriate outcome. And on that note, like I said, that's what it's. That's the truth. That's the truth. I mean, it's just, B Fry, I'm not gonna keep reading all this fine print. That's why it's up here. Guys, I'm sorry. I gotta take an intermission real quick. I'll be right back.
só aqui que sol ilumina coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra crer. Apagaram as luzes pra eu ver. Saí da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar. Não é só na vida que a vida, não é na janela que se olha. Há uma linha clara perto da saída. Fecha os olhos e você vai ver. Não é só aqui que o sol ilumina coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra querer. Apagaram as luzes pra eu ver. Saí da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar.
I know that I just met you, but you look, oh girl, you blow my mind. I know what I would like to do, but you just keep on talking. I see your dog needs walking. Your folk drive you insane. I know, yeah, that's true. Of course, you ain't the one to blame. Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me. But I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. To me. You keep on talking.
Guys, we back. We back, guys. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, B Fries said, no, I'm sorry. Maria says, great explanation, Jay. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know, you always come through, and I genuinely appreciate that. B Fry consistently coming through. I mean, you might be like B Fry. I like you. You're an agent of chaos, low key. I like you. I rock with it. Before I says keep reading, start with at the end part. Before I says just one more. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Catching up, just catching up. Basically, what we're doing is we're discussing this judge has finally ruled on whether Fani Willis will be disqualified from from this Trump hearing. And this Trump hearing is basically about the election fraud, or they're accusing him of election interference, which I think personally is just BS. But that's neither here nor there. I digress. Basically, let's get back into this. Let's get back into this reading. So basically, the judge basically just where we left off with the judge basically was saying that basically in situations where there is an appearance of conflict of interest, there is a range of remedies that can be used to apply. You know, like if there was a situation where there is actual conflict of interest, automatic disqualification. Disqualified. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go home. Go home, Roger. But in situations where there's the appearance of conflict of interest, there's options. And that's what the judge is saying. And that's why, again, like me and Maria were basically saying that the judge was copping out. The judge was copped out because what he did is he chose the safe options. He chose the safe options, and that's just what it is. I'm gonna read this B Fry for you. I'm gonna just let you know, but I'm not gonna keep reading all this fine print. I like my eyes. but I'm gonna do this for you, B Fry. But so it says, after saying they're recognizing that disqualification is not always the appropriate outcome, it says at one end of the scale where disqualification is always justified and indeed mandated, even when balanced against a client's right to an attorney of choice, is the appearance of impropriety coupled with a conflict of interest or jeopardy to a client's confidences. In these instances, it is clear that the disqualification is necessary for the protection of the client. Somewhere in the middle of that continuum is the appearance of impropriety based on conduct on the part of the attorney. As discussed above, this generally has been found insufficient to outweigh the client's interest in counsel of choice. This is probably so because absent danger to the client, the nebulous interest of the public at large, and the propriety of the bar is not weighty enough to justify disqualification. Finally, at the opposite end of the continuum is the appearance of impropriety based not on conduct but on status alone. This is an insufficient grounds for disqualification. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Basically, the Supreme Court further noted that disqualification due to an appearance of impropriety should rarely occur when there is no danger that the actual trial of the case will be tainted. Similarly, in Billings versus State, although the Court of Appeals found the existence of an appearance of impropriety, it noted that the appearance could not be cured through screening the affected prosecutor from participation or discussion of the affected case. Let's see. These cases indicate that a trial court can consider alternative solutions to cure the appearance of impropriety. This is what we mean. This is the cop out. This is the cop out. Nor would the finding of an appearance of impropriety on the part of the district attorney itself, in contrast to an actual conflict, necessarily result in the disqualification of the entire Fulton County District Attorney's Office. The district attorney and McLaughlin was absolutely disqualified due to a personal interest in the prosecution. McLaughlin versus Payne, case study. As a result, assistant district attorneys appointed by the district attorney lacked any authority to proceed. Basically, McLaughlin did not address an appearance standard and made a point to limit the total disqualification to instances of absolute disqualification. When the appearance of a conflict of interest exists, only the affected prosecutor, be they elected or appointed, is affected. Let's see. Georgia, the individual prosecutor may be disqualified from participation in the case, but not all other prosecutors who work with him. Appearance of disqualification did not require disqualification of the entire office. With these principles in mind, the court finds that the record made at the evidentiary hearing established that the district attorney's prosecution is encumbered by an appearance of impropriety. Did you hear that? What the judge just said? The judge just said that the court finds that this basically they found that there was an appearance of impropriety. I was watching the lead attorney stream, and he broke this down in a great way. Like, conflict of interest can be best described as a fire, right? As a fire. So if you see a fire, then you know how to react accordingly, right? The appearance of conflict of interest would be like when you smell smoke. You can't see the fire, but you can smell the smoke. So the judge basically confirmed that he can smell the smoke. We just can't see the fire. We can't see where the fire is. So, what are you going to do about it, Judge? Well, let's find out. It says the appearance is not created by mere status alone, but comes because of specific conduct. And specific conduct, that means that it's because of Fani and Nathan Wade's actions. Nobody else but them. It's their actions. Conduct and impacts more than a mere nebulous public interest because it concerns a public prosecutor. Even if the romantic relationship began after Wade's initial contract, the district attorney chose to continue supervising and paying Wade while maintaining such a relationship. She further allowed the regular and loose exchange of money between them without any exact or verifiable measure of reconciliation. This lack of confirmed financial split creates the possibility and appearance that the district attorney benefited, albeit non-materially, from a contract whose award lay solely within her purview and policing. Most importantly, were the case allowed to proceed unchanged, the concerns raised by the defendants would persist, As the district attorney testified, her relationship with Wade has only been cemented after these motions and is stronger than ever. Wade's patently unpersuasive explanation for the inaccurate interrogatories he submitted in his pending divorce indicates a willingness on his part to wrongly conceal his relationship with the district attorney. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Judge out there. Ooh. Ooh. Sheesh. Sheesh. This judge is you not holding nothing back, are you, buddy? As the case moves forward, reasonable members of the public could easily be left to wonder whether the financial exchanges have continued, resulting in some form of benefit to the district attorney, or even whether the romantic relationship has resumed. Put differently, an outsider could reasonably think that the district attorney is not exercising her independent professional judgment totally free of any compromising influences. And as long as Wade remains on this case, this unnecessary perception will persist. Wow. Wow, this is crazy, guys. The testimony introduced, including that of District Attorney and Wade, did not put these concerns to rest. During the argument, the defendant's focus largely pivoted from the financial concerns to disproving the testimony of the district attorney, namely that her romantic relationship actually predated the November 29th hiring of Wade. On that front, the court makes a few brief observations. First, the court finds itself unable to place any stock in the testimony of Terrence Bradley. Oh, wow. And you got to remember that this guy actually this judge actually took Terrence Bradley back and interrogated himself. So for him to say that, this is insane. His inconsistencies, demeanor, and generally non-responsive answers left far too brittle a foundation upon which to build any conclusions. While prior inconsistent statements can be considered as substantial or substantive evidence under Georgia law, Bradley's impeachment by text message did not establish the basis for which he claims such sweeping knowledge of Wade's personal affairs. In addition, while the testimony of Robin Yurdy raised doubts about the state's assertions, it ultimately lacked context and detail. Even after considering the preferred, I'm sorry, I'm country. Sorry, our people from St. Louis talk. Testimony from defendant Trump, along with the entirety of the other evidence, neither side was able to conclusively establish by a preponderance of the evidence when the relationship evolved into a romantic one. However, an odor of mendacity, shout out to B. Fry, an odor of mendacity remains. That means they're lying. It means the judge thinks they're lying. He thinks they're dishonest. A court is not under an obligation to ferret out every instance of potential dishonesty from each witness or defendant ever presented in an open court. Such an expectation would mean an end to the efficient disposition of criminal and civil proceedings. Yet reasonable questions about whether the district attorney and her hand-selected lead testified untruthfully about the timing of their relationship further underpin the finding of an appearance of impropriety and the need to make proportional efforts to cure it. Ooh. Jesus. Ultimately, dismissal of the indictment is not the appropriate remedy to adequately dissipate the financial cloud of impropriety and potential untruthfulness found here. There has not been a showing that the defendant's due process rights have been violated or that the issues prejudiced the defendant in any way, nor is disqualification of a constitutional officer necessary when a less drastic and sufficiently remedial option is available. The court therefore concludes that the prosecution of this case cannot proceed until the state selects one of two options. Okay, here we go, guys. The district attorney may choose to step aside along with the whole of her office and refer the prosecution to the prosecuting attorney's counsel for reassignment. Alternatively, Nathan Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward. All right. Shout out to B Fry. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. Like I said, just because I get passionate doesn't mean that I don't appreciate you. Like seriously, I appreciate the back and forth. You know what I mean? You might have to hop on a panel one day. Like I said, but I appreciate you for stopping through. Seriously. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. No, I'm glad you enjoy it, man. Seriously, seriously. That's what I want. I want people, even if we got different opinions and different views. I want this to be a space where people can come together, even if we disagree. You know what I mean? Just have a conversation, because that's really all it is. Even if I get passionate and you make me want to pull my hair out sometimes, you know what I mean? It's all love. it's all love. All love, seriously. But yeah, all right, man. Take it easy though. Peace out. Appreciate you. But yeah, so basically, Nathan Wade has to get the F out of town. And that's the crazy part. Allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence. Or remuneration, distracting from and potentially compromising the merits of this case. Wow. So that's what I mean when I say that. When you really think about this, like, who's the real loser in this situation? Because what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when Fani Willis reads this, when Fani Willis gets this information in front of her? What do you think is going to happen, right? Obviously, Nathan Wade is gone. Fani is not stepping aside. Fani is way too selfish. She's never going to do that. She's never going to step aside. But what is going to happen is Nathan Wade, gotta go, buddy. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter the things that I exposed about you. It doesn't matter that we're all in this situation because of all that. It doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter that we're supposed to be in this together. Was it worth it, Nathan? Was it worth it, Nathan? Jesus Christ. Guys, we're almost done with this. Forensic misconduct, right? The Supreme Court also recognizes forensic misconduct or improper comment by the state as grounds for disqualification. One example of such forensic misconduct is expression by the prosecuting attorney of his personal beliefs in the defendant's guilt. Basically, this has to do with Fani basically going on her press tours and basically speaking out. You've seen the videos of her going to the church and speaking. Basically, yeah, it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is inappropriate. But that's neither here nor there. Um, as guidance, Williams instructs that the trial court should take into consideration whether such remarks were part of a calculated plan and evincing a design to prejudice the defendant in the minds of jurors, or whether such remarks were inadvertent utterances. The court has not located nor been provided with a single additional case exploring the relevant standard for forensic misconduct or an opinion that actually resulted in disqualification under Georgia law. Left unexplored, therefore, is how other examples of forensic misconduct can manifest, such as whether statements that stop short of commenting on the guilt of a defendant can be disqualifying. Nor has it been decided if some showing of prejudice is required, and how a trial court should go about determining whether such prejudice exists. Nor is it clear whether the analyst differs depending on the pretrial posture of the case. Unmoored from precedent. Oh my God, this guy is great with the words. Unmoored with precedents, the court feels confined to the boundaries of Williams and restricts the application of the facts found here to its limited holding. The defendants have exhaustively documented every public comment made by the district attorney concerning this case through their motions and supplemental findings. Many of these have already been addressed through a pretrial challenge made on similar grounds brought by defendants Trump and Latham. This court incorporates and adopts the sound reasoning of Judge McBurney and finds that any comments made by district attorney prior to June 31st, 2023 did not amount to disqualifying forensic misconduct. Similarly, more recent comments describing the charges in the indictment, the procedural posture of that case, the office's conviction rates, and personal behind-the-scenes anecdotes are not disqualifying. This includes the district attorney's unorthodox decision to make on-the-record comments and authorize members of her staff to do likewise. To author's intent on publishing a book about the special grand jury's investigation during the pendency of this case, and such decisions are this is it's getting kind of redundant. Same cannot be said to the district attorney's prepared speech delivered before the congregation of a local Atlanta church on January 14th. In these public and televised comments, the district attorney complained that a Fulton County commissioner and so many others questioned her decision to hire Wade. When referring to her detractors throughout the speech, she frequently utilized the plural they. The state argues that the speech was not aimed at any of the defendants in this case. Maybe so, but maybe not. Therein lies the danger of public comment by a prosecuting attorney, right? It's unprofessional. By including a reference to so many others on the heels of defendant Roman's motion, which instigated the entire controversy, the district attorney left the question open for the public to consider. The court finds, after considering the statement as a whole, under all the circumstances surrounding the issuance, that the district attorney's speech did include that's what I mean. They're lying. They're liars. That did include defending Roman and his counsel within its ambit, whether intentional or not. Basically, yeah, this is crazy. However, the speech did not specifically mention any defendant by name, although not improvised or inadvertent. It also did not address the merits of the indicted offenses. Okay. So basically, you know, I'm gonna just skip all that and just go. Let's just go straight to the conclusion because at the end of the day, I mean, we pretty much got the gist of what we're here for. So whether the case ends in conviction, acquittals, or something in between, the result should be one that instills confidence in the process. A reasonable observer, unburdened by partisan blinders, should believe that the law was impartially applied, that those accused of crimes had a fair opportunity to present their defenses, and that any verdict was based on our criminal justice system's best efforts at ascertaining the truth. Any distractions that detract from these goals, if remedial under the law, should be proportionally addressed. After consideration of the record established on these motions, the court finds the alleged allegations and evidence legally insufficient to support a finding of an actual conflict of interest. However, the appearance of impropriety remains and must be handled as previously outlined before the prosecution can proceed. The defendant's motions are therefore granted in part and denied in part. And like I said, guys, I mean, if we're really being honest, the only person that's really getting screwed here is Nathan Wade, because think about it. This was probably a big case for him too. This was his first real case. He never prosecuted a felony before, and he got the big dog, and just lost it all, just like that. And Fani didn't even, and see, the thing is, so what do you think actually happened, right? What do you think happened? Nathan Wade, almost like not even hours after this was announced, resigned. You think Fani gave him a choice? Do you think they hadn't already talked about about this possible outcome? This is crazy, guys. It's crazy. So Nathan Wade resigns. Nathan Wade resigns. Fani gets to continue doing what she's doing. So I guess I'm going to leave you guys with this question because, like I said, you know, had a long day. I'm not going to belabor the point. You know, you guys seen this. I mean, I think that the judge took the easy way out. I think that this just basically is going to continue to allow corrupt Fani Willis to continue to just do whatever she wants. And she's never going to be held accountable for her actions because she's a hyena in a dress, and she's tasted power and she's not going to let it go. And I'm going to be honest, I hate to see it, but it just is what it is. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm just kind of, I'm over it, guys. But, yeah, I'm definitely over it. But, you know, we're going to keep talking about this as things move forward, you know, because like I said before, this is an important trial and the results of this have big ramifications. But I personally would be very surprised if we haven't heard the last of this, because Fani is going to be facing some ethical violations, and this is just going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But on that note, I am J Red Unfiltered. I am gonna bid you guys adieu, and hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I hope you guys, you know, are well. Stay safe. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. I'm streaming tomorrow, so be sure to check me out. Hope you know. I just hope to see you there. J Red Unfiltered. I'm signing out.